My name's Fadan, I'm a divorce lawyer, and I'm going to tell you the story about a client that I had who really struggled to get out of the family home and didn't know what to do, and we had to come up with a very detailed exit strategy. And from time to time I implement this strategy. It's called the Katie Holmes exit, because one day the husband comes home and you're gone. So this was a situation where my client lived in the family home with her husband. The family home was in his name. So people don't know, but in fact, if you're living in a house that you don't own and your spouse owns it, one day you could come home and find that the locks are changed and all your stuff's on the front lawn and you can't get into the house. Now, you can't break into the house because it's not legally yours. On title is your spouse, which means you're trespassing. They could call the police look at the title search, and you can't get back into the house. Now, there are circumstances to which you can get a court order to get back into the house, or can seek permission to live in the house, but it's a pretty shitty situation if your neighbour's not on title. So that's the situation we have here. He kept threatening her that he was going to kick her out of the house, and she felt very vulnerable that he might actually do that. They did have one young child, so it wasn't a situation where she could just stay in the house. She knew she wanted to go out of the house and get herself a rental. She wanted to take the child with her and take her stuff. And when I'd say to her, well, I don't get it, just pack your stuff and go. But she couldn't. Because he worked from home since COVID, he's always in the house and he's always there. And he wouldn't let her go. And she didn't really know how is she physically going to move out because he's always fucking there. And she wanted to take her share of the furniture and he would not allow it. So she rings me and says, how do I do this? How do I get out of the house and take my stuff? Because he's always there. And if he goes anywhere, he goes to his mum's, which is just down the road, or he goes to the shops for 10 minutes. I just can't physically get my stuff out. And I'm worried. So I said to her, this is what we're going to do. We're going to organise a settlement conference as part of the family law case. We're going to invite your husband, his lawyer, you and me. We're going to sit down and sort out the property case. Whilst we're doing that, it's one big day from 9 to 5, you're going to get yourself a removalist. It's going to go to the house. The removalist will pack up all your shit, take it to your rental. You're going to need somebody at that house, excuse me, to be able to pack up your stuff. So she gets her best friend and another friend of hers to go to the house on that day of the settlement conference. We're all at my office. Meanwhile, she's cleaning out the house with the removalist and her best friend. We had a couple of breaks during that day, and her best friend would ring her with the FaceTime app and say to her, what about the vacuum cleaner? Do I take the vacuum cleaner? What about this artwork? Do I take this artwork? Because she wasn't physically there. So she was telling her friends what to take from the house, and she had a big list. She was super organised. We packed up the truck, moved to the rental, and then at the end of the day at that settlement conference, we did settle the case, by the way, we revealed to him we've moved out and we're not coming back. And she took the child with her as well. So it all worked out.